Yo, what's going on, fellas? It's your guy Six Path Dunga back again with another video. I know this video is a little overdue, but we got yet again more information on Boruto's new time-space ninjutsu. Now, in the latest chapter of Boruto TBV VORTEX, we gotten a little closer to learning about everything that happened during the 3-year time skip, both from when Boruto was training with Sasuke, as well as KASHIN KOJI. So far from what Boruto's shown us, he learned his sword skill from Sasuke. He also learned how to properly stream lightning through said sword to increase the potency of its slices. Then when we take a look at the more advanced techniques he knows, like the Uzuhiko and Flying Thunder God, he learned it from Koji. We gotten statements from the Naruto database that said Koji assisted him with the development of these techniques, especially FTG. But we haven't really seen the process of Boruto learning the technique until now. So before we hop into the video today, I need my loyal to drop a like for our 10k sub goal. If you're new, we're trying to reach 10k subscribers by the end of December, so if you're just passing by and you don't mind helping us out with that goal, drop a quick like and maybe consider subscribing if you enjoyed the video today. Now let's get into the video. So at the beginning of chapter 16, we're greeted by a flashback of Boruto and KASHIN KOJI training, and they're training in the art of space-time ninjutsu. At first, I didn't really realize how crucial space-time ninjutsu would be for Boruto, in any form that is. Since the beginning of the time skip, Boruto has did an insane amount of traveling to far distances. It's gotten to the point that if he didn't have any form of teleportation abilities, either Himawari or Sarada would have probably gotten devoured by the Shinju, without anything they could do about it. He also escaped some sticky situations using it too. So being an OTSUTSUKI is probably seen as a hindrance and obstacle, but their abilities are actually pretty useful. And to be honest, Boruto along with Kawaki wouldn't be able to operate how they do without it. So you can say it's a pretty important part of who they are as fighters and protectors. Now I'm pretty sure a lot of people now know about this already, but Boruto's new space-time ninjutsu is a variant of the Flying RAIJIN jutsu, or Flying Thunder God, whichever you prefer. If it wasn't for KASHIN KOJI SHINJUTSU to be able to gaze into the future, Boruto would have to wait 6 years to develop this new skill. But since their main goal is to be as prepared as possible for the upcoming threat of the Shinju, Boruto had to learn it then and there. So Koji taught FTG and a lot of other useful techniques he learned in the future to him, way earlier than normal to advance his shinobi development. So the approach Koji seemed to be taking with this training is looking into the future and figuring out what future Boruto did to master these new techniques, and then inform the current Boruto about how he mastered it in the future. So to be fair, Koji is a decent trainer, but for the people that said he's a better sensei than the likes of Sasuke, I don't necessarily think I can go along with that one. Only because Sasuke taught Boruto ninjutsu and an entirely different way of fighting, but he also engraved the heart and will of a shinobi into him. This is the true source of power for a shinobi. Unwavering strength, and without it, he'll always remain weak. And I don't think we actually seen everything that Boruto learned from Sasuke yet, but it is still cool that a Jiraiya clone is training Boruto. I guess that's where the hype comes from, I don't know. But when Koji successfully analyzed the mind of 19 or 20-year-old Boruto, he figured out how he was able to finally master time-space ninjutsu by marking metal objects with his chakras such as kunai and shuriken. Then he used these metal objects to move instantaneously to and from said objects. Boruto then named this technique the Flying RAIJIN jutsu. So he devised another technique that was extremely similar to the real Flying RAIJIN without having any prior knowledge of Minato's variant of FTG. But there's no surprise because we know Boruto is considered a genius, so he probably came up with the Uzuhiko the same exact way. That's what I really can't wait for the story to show us. I can't wait until we get an explanation on how that technique came to be, and what steps did future Boruto take to develop such a technique that's able to one-shot villains on the same level as OTSUTSUKI gods. But back to the premise of the video, Boruto's FTG and Minato's are different versions of the same technique. However, of course Minato stays superior in a multitude of ways I will shortly get into. But first, let me explain how Boruto's works. Since future Boruto came to the conclusion that metal objects are the most suitable for chakra marking, he decided to base his technique around objects purely made of metal, or at least objects that have metal on it. It's most likely because metal is the best conductor for chakra, So using metal, Boruto can probably sense the chakra better, making it easier to teleport to and from different locations. At first he only used ninja tools like shuriken and kunai, and maybe his sword, but then he ran into an issue. If the metal object he was trying to teleport to was in his visual range, then the technique would be easier and more accurate. However, the issue occurs when he's trying to teleport from far away distances. As you can see on the screen, if there's two of the same objects, like the shuriken displayed, it's hard to figure out which one is which because even though he can sense the chakra from both, they're still the same size and shape. So when he's visualizing it in his head, there isn't any distinction between the two shuriken that he can use to properly tell which one he's teleporting to. So this is when he came up with the idea of using shapes and symbols to teleport to faraway locations way more accurately. Now he wouldn't have a problem teleporting far away because he can not only tell each symbol apart from each other, but he can have multiple of them in play at the same time. So he can go even more places and make full use of the technique's potential. And I originally heard this from Naruto Explained. Y'all should go check him out. Amazing Naruto and Boruto YouTuber. But what he said, I kinda half agreed with him. That's why I'm telling you all now. But what he said is, now that Boruto's pins that he wears on his jacket have a purpose, and a crucial purpose at that, the studio that eventually animates TBV VORTEX isn't going to be able to simplify Boruto's character as much. I'll even put an example up on the screen. So look at this design. You see how it's so much simpler than his actual design? Yeah, he was basically explaining that something like this won't be as possible anymore because every accessory that Boruto is wearing now plays a huge role on his abilities. I mean, you can definitely say that, yes, Boruto has many accessories that mean something, but then if that's the case, you can end up getting a design like this that still emphasizes the symbols on his jacket, but still majorly simplifies his design. And I agree, it looks absolutely horrendous. And for many people, it can ruin Boruto's character, and not even his character, but the TBV VORTEX watching experience as a whole. What's really important is whether the anime is seasonal or not, because the whole reason they would probably do something like that is to save time. You have to remember, the anime was weekly. That means deadlines have to be met. And one of the solutions they might come up with to save time and effort is simplifying designs. Boruto has one of the most complex designs out of most characters in the show, so they'll most likely take a few things away here and there. But if the anime becomes seasonal like it should, it offers way more time to the animation studio, and therefore decreases the chance that his design will be simplified and ruined. So all in all, it really depends on the release schedule of the anime, which is out of our control. We'll see on that. Okay, now that we get the basics of Boruto's FTG, let's take a brief look at Minato's to see why his is superior to Boruto's. So instead of chakra, Minato uses seals to teleport himself to different locations. Now, unlike Boruto, this seal can be placed on literally anything and still be as effective. Buildings, the ground, even people. But he mainly uses special kunai that has the flying RAIJIN seal already engraved on it. And there's pretty much no limit to how many he can place down at a time. And he doesn't get confused to where he's teleporting to. And Minato can not only teleport himself, but he can also teleport other objects and people. The chakra disparity depends on the size of the person or thing and where it's being teleported to. I don't know if seals are just a better way to use as a catalyst for FTG to work than chakra, but it just seems like Minato's FTG is so much more efficient and less energy consuming, especially when he's just casually using it in battle. Perhaps using seals is a better way because of the specific coding of the seal is easier to tell apart than just using regular chakra for every object. But the main difference between Boruto and Minato's FTG is the conductor. One uses plain chakra and another uses seals. And seals are probably a better way to go in that case, especially since Minato specializes in sealing jutsu. That also probably makes it easier for it to work for him. Now, before I end the video, there is something that is a little concerning that I want to talk about. At the beginning of the chapter, Koji says that Boruto develops the FTG as a way to control time-space ninjutsu, but he stated that he manifested it several times in the past. He was talking about time-space ninjutsu, but another type of jutsu. You see, OTSUTSUKI do make use of time-space ninjutsu to teleport instantaneously, but not with using the flying RAIJIN, of course. They make use of portals to do that. So by the time future Boruto learned the flying RAIJIN, he probably still doesn't have an adequate understanding of his karma to the point to where he can use portals to travel. That's why he had to come up with a substitute option to use time-space ninjutsu without the use of portals. And since Boruto now can't even control his karma to stop it from even activating, it tells me future Boruto never learned how to control his karma. Otherwise, KASHIN Koji would have taught or tried to assist Boruto in controlling it way earlier, since he can literally see into the future. This kind of tells me two things. Maybe Koji is hiding information via the karma seal from Boruto for a reason that I do not know. But another thing that this could tell me is maybe he doesn't know because Boruto could have had a vision. And in that vision, he could have learned some information that helped him with his control over the karma. And you probably can't see people's visions using the prescient Shinjutsu, only their actions, right? So that is a possibility as well, but I want to hear what you guys think. Do you think Boruto learning FTG over using portals like a regular OTSUTSUKI is a better option? And do you think Boruto will ever learn how to control his karma's abilities? And how do you think he'll be able to do it? Like always, if you enjoyed this video and want to show some support, then make sure you drop a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss another video like this, or when I go live for chapter spoilers. Thank y'all boys and girls for all the support. I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving, and until my next video, I'll see you later. And I'm out. Peace.